For many, the idea of packing a bag and heading out onto a road trip sounds like a great adventure. But what if you're a trucker and have to do it every day, year after year? Who signs up for that, and what are the challenges?
You know, there's hardly any new guys. Young guys, there's almost no young guys coming in, very few. Nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to sacrifice their life to be gone 6-7 days a week. You know, sacrifice family, sacrifice friends, sacrifice pretty much your life just to be a machine for society. Average age of drivers, I'm sure, has got to be well above the 50 mark, probably getting close to the 60 mark. Average age of our guys is I'd say in the mid to high 50s.
As the owner of a trucking company, Dave knows the challenges drivers face, and that plays into his ability to steer his business in a positive direction.
VLTs on the road has gotten to be a major issue for some guys. The choice of drugs that are easy to access, i.e. crack, you know, that kind of stuff. All that stuff is easily accessible to guys today. You know, you're fooling yourself if you think this industry has no drug issue and alcohol issue, gambling issue, pornography issue, all those things. You know, it's just, it breeds those vices.
Veteran trucker Ron Davis agrees.
There's a lot of temptations out there. There's always liquor, of course, and there's lots of women around, but it's not worth it. The biggest challenge, I think, is relationships. It's everything else, as far as driving, or it's pretty much common sense, and you meet a lot of great people out there, but it's hard on relationships. It's hard to find a marriage that'll stick together during it. I've lost two.
Across Canada and the U.S., drivers pull into truck stops looking for rest. What some are discovering is a place to pursue answers to the wear and tear of the lonely life on the road. Sam Macintosh is chaplain for Transport for Christ. He believes truckers now have a place to find hope.
Up until 10 years ago, I wouldn't have come anywhere near the place. I was not living for the Lord. I was actually fairly wild.
Now a committed Christian, Sam says his past only serves to help him in his work with the organization. Retired transport trailers, repurposed as chapels, have found a home at 6 locations in Canada, 28 stateside, 2 in Russia, and even a single location in Africa. It's at a location near Edmonton, Alberta, where Sam's past experience as a driver now encourages others.
I believe that I'm obeying what he wants me to do, and I know that this is a much-needed ministry in the trucking industry, and not just the drivers themselves, but the truck stop employees, the staff. There's very little that we can't help them with as far as spiritual things go. We get a lot of believers in here, but we get a lot of unbelievers too, and they're coming in looking for answers that they have no hope of answering themselves.
Mile after mile and coffee after coffee, sometimes the road seems to never end. As loneliness sets in and many drivers look for ways to escape the monotony, some are fortunate enough to have company for their journey. Father-son driving team Reg and Simon Hawk have been able to use the time to become better friends.
The last 3 years of my trucking, I ran a double with my son, and we were running down to Houston, Texas most of the time. There was problems running with the son, you know, because there's always a little conflict if you're sleeping, but I enjoyed it, seeing a lot of scenery throughout the whole country, right from all the way from Denver to Labrador City, and seen a lot of country. That was one good thing about it.
As a team, there is someone you can depend on. Life changed for Simon when his dad retired.
Well, the difference is between running team and solo was when we were running with my dad, we could run 24 hours a day. When I was running single, it took the trips a lot longer to do. I was away from home a lot more, sometimes up to 2 to 3 weeks at a time, being away from family. Running team together, it was really nice because I got close to my dad, and I really miss it now when I run by myself.
Today, as Simon heads down the highway alone, he finds that things have changed, bringing a lot of challenges and a lot of learning.
The loneliness on the road gets to a guy, and you get a lot of thinking, and you're wondering what's going on at home. You know, you're missing your wife, your children. I went through some hard times in our marriage, you know, where we would just, nearly get divorced, you know, and it was hard. But I think what got me through a lot of that was having my faith in God, and being able to you know, have that time with him and praying, and it really grew us closer.
The vast distances across our continent continue to push drivers away from their families for days or weeks at a time. But there is hope and people working to make life on the road more manageable.
Sometimes you can try and help guys, and you know, be an encouragement, and you can try and steer guys in the right direction. And some guys, you know, they try to make a change, and you know, you can be an influence as a Christian. I'm always happy when I hear that guys, you know, want to take a week or 2 weeks off. It's a harsh environment, and you hate to push a guy to the end. You know, if a guy has family issues, whatever the issue is, you know, guy calls us and says, "I need some time off," or "I want some time off to spend with my family." You know, I'm all for that.
It's while the drivers are still on the road that Transport for Christ hopes to provide road-weary truckers a place to rest and a listening ear from a new friend like Sam.
Some days we're challenged with some guy that comes in, his life is a mess. He's out of money, his wife threw him out, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of different things that they come in here for. There's many guys that come in, Christian and non-Christian, that believe this is a safe haven. They come in, they share their concerns, they share their life story, if you will, and they feel very safe in doing so. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to use, and it's a wonderful place to work.
If you want to find out more about Transport for Christ or connect them to someone you know who spends much of their life on the road, go to transportforchrist.org. In Edmonton, Dean Muse, 100 Hundley Street.